It is an age-old belief that an investment in gold is made to provide for a rainy day. In cases of the dire need of funds, the gold would be sold or pledged with a moneylender. It is believed that the interest burden for the gold loan when pledged with a moneylender would be so high that people preferred selling the good in times of need than pledge it. These issues have been overcome now with a lot of players in the market providing loan against the pledge of gold at a very competitive rates of interest. Gold loan is as good as personal loan with security by way of pledge of gold coins or gold ornaments. Hey guys, this is Simran from ClearTax and today's video is all about gold loan. If you want to know everything about availing a gold loan, then you have come to the right place. Before we begin, I just wanted to tell you that the timestamps for the subtopics are given below in the description box. So if you want to know about a particular subtopic, then you could directly go to that part. Also, do not forget to press the bell icon and like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. So what are we waiting for? Let's begin with what is gold loan.
Gold loan, also called as loan against gold, is a secured loan taken by the borrower from a lender by pledging their gold articles that ranges from 18 to 24 carats as collateral. Gold loan does not involve any laborious documentation and the loan amount provided is a certain percentage of the gold, typically up to 80%, based on the current market value and quality of gold.
Well, now that we know what a gold loan is, let us talk about why it is preferred by a lot of people. I'm sure there might be some really good reasons, So let's get right into it without wasting any time.
The gold loan is preferred for the following reasons. The security stipulated is a commodity which is available at almost every Indian home. The procedure involved for a gold loan is very simple and the loan will be disbursed at the blink of an eye. It is that easy to avail a gold loan. There is no elaborate verification in respect of income, credit score, etc. Even a housewife who has no income but has sufficient gold to pledge can avail a gold loan. There is no laborious documentation involved while availing a gold loan. It is an all-purpose loan that can be used for any purpose. It can be used for planning a wedding, planning a holiday, purchase of gadgets, for education expenses, purchase of property, etc. The end use of the proceeds will not be questioned.
Now I know why people are drooling over availing a gold loan. I mean, no income background, no credit history, not a lengthy procedure, easy to avail. What else do you need? I'll tell you what you need. So now you just know the basics of availing a gold loan. Let's quickly dive into the detailed features of gold loan.
The first one is purpose. It is an all-purpose loan. It can be used for various purposes except for notorious activities and activities objected by law. It can be used for consolidation of debts, for planning a wedding, for travel, for medical emergencies, for purchase of gold jewelry, etc. Gold is given for agricultural as well as non-agricultural purposes. In the case of agriculture, the loan is given for crop cultivation and for investment in farm equipments and also for allied agricultural activities. The second one is eligibility. The basic requirement is the availability of the required quantity of gold. Also, the age of the applicant should be above 18. The applicant should be able to enter into a contract with the bank or financial institution, and for that, the permitted age is above 18 years. In the case of gold loan for agricultural purposes, proof of landholding has to be submitted. This is required since gold loans given for agricultural purposes are eligible for interest subvention. Coming to the next one, that is quantum. The loan quantum is proportionate to the weight of the gold pledged. The rate per gram of gold with regard to the loan is fixed by the lending institution, which varies from time to time. It depends on the prevailing market rate for gold. Different lenders have different rates as per the credit policy of the institution. The quantum can also be based on the total market value of the gold being pledged. A margin of 25% to 35% will be set on the market price of the gold. In other words, loan to value, also known as LTV, will be 65% to 75% of the market price of the gold pledged. In the case of gold loan for agricultural purposes, the loan is based on the scale of finance. The next one is interest. The interest rates are much lesser than the rates applied to personal loans. If the quantity of gold is relatively greater than the loan opted for, some of the lenders further reduce the rate of interest. Interest is based on the purity of gold in some of the banks or financial institutions. The next one is turnaround time. The process involved for availing a gold loan is checking the purity and weight of the gold by the appraiser, which will give the instant quantum eligibility. The documentation is also very minimal. Some of the institutions restrict the documentation to an application cum agreement form that can be completed with great ease. The sanctioned amount will be instantly credited to your bank account. The turnaround time for the whole process can be as quick as the blink of any eye. Yes, you heard me right. Coming to the next one, that is repayment. There are multiple options for repayment of the gold loan. The first one is equated monthly installments, also known as an EMI. The EMI consists of both the interest and the principal component, and so the principal gets reduced proportionately. The second one is bullet payment. You may not be able to make a commitment for payment every month but are able to pay the month in a lump sum sometime later. Then the bullet payment option is for you. The next one is overdraft facility. This is a revolving facility and the interest will be charged on the amount that will be utilized. You can operate this account throughout the term that is stipulated. The next one is partial repayment. In this option, there is no repayment pattern drawn by the bank or financial institution which has to be followed. You can make a payment whenever funds are available. This is again suitable for people who do not have a regular income. The last one is EMI only for interest. You will be paying the interest whenever due and the principal amount will be paid at the end of the tenure. This way, you will be avoiding compounding of interest. The next feature is processing charges. The processing charges will be very nominal. Some of the banks provide gold loans at zero processing charges. The next one is pre-closure charges. Banks or financial institutions allow closure of the gold loan before maturity at nil or nominal charges. The next one is no income proof required. Though some of the banks or financial institutions prefer applicants with a stable income, most of them do not insist on any income proof. The next one is credit score. Gold is a security which can be liquidated very easily. This quality of security is the reason that financial institutions provide gold loans to applicants even with a low credit score or no credit score at all. A credit score is not a mandatory eligibility criterion for availing a gold loan. The last feature is its security measures. You can confidently pledge your gold with reputed financial institutions without being skeptical about the safety measures. The gold pledged with these institutions will be highly secure since they are stored in safety vaults kept in strong rooms.
Well, I think those were some detailed features. Now that we know all the features of availing a gold loan, let's come to the next segment of the video, that is the eligibility norms for a gold loan. There are just a few of them. Let's see what they are.
The eligibility norms are: the applicant should be aged above 18 years, the applicant should have the gold of 18 to 22 carat purity to pledge for the loan. If gold loans are pledged, then the purity should be 24 carats. If the loan is availed for agricultural purposes, proof of landholding should be available, and some of the banks or institutions insist on a stable income, though most of them don't.
If you pass those norms mentioned before, only then will you be able to get a gold loan. Now the question is, what all documents are required for availing a gold loan? Don't worry, because the answer to this question is in our next segment. So let's get right into it.
The documents required for gold loan are residential proof, that is Aadhaar card, voter's ID card, driving license, utility bills, etc. Then you also need a photo identity proof, that could be a passport, PAN card, driving license, voter's ID card, etc. The third one is passport size photographs, and the last one is proof of land holding if the gold loan is availed for agricultural and allied activities.
Well, I think we have talked about everything required to be done while availing a gold loan, except for one thing, that is the things to consider while availing a gold loan. Yes guys, our next and the last segment is about all the things to consider before availing a gold loan. This is very crucial because you need to keep in mind a lot of things before you actually avail a loan. So let's quickly discuss it without wasting any time.
The first one is background check. You should understand the background of the person or institution where you are pledging your valuable asset and availing a loan. If you're approaching a local pawnbroker to avail a gold loan, the procedure may be simple and you may be getting the loan immediately. But what is the safety of your security? There could be a theft in the shop and the gold may be stolen, or there may be a fire accident. Anything could happen. What is the safekeeping measure adopted? This is the most important factor you have to consider while you are pledging your gold to avail the loan. You should do a background check about the institution where you are pledging your asset and ascertain that the transaction that is being put through is not a fraudulent one. To avoid all these debts and fears, it is always recommended to approach banks or financial institutions of good repute. The safekeeping of the gold is ensured in these places. The gold will be stored in fireproof safety vaults which are kept inside a strong room. The gold that is in the custody of these institutions will also be covered by insurance. The second one is market research. You have to do market research to understand the best deal. The first institution you are approaching may not be giving you the deal that you deserve. Do a thorough research and collect comparative data of the interest rates, processing fees, appraisal charges, pre-closure charges, etc. Break down the comparative data to about 5 to 6 and choose the best among them. Check who is giving you the best option when it comes to the loan amount. Each institution has a different level of margin stipulated. Go for the deal where you get the highest value for the asset. The next one is margin. A margin is set between 25% to 35% for gold loans. If the loan to value ratio is high, then the risk factor for the lenders increases. So they consider various factors while fixing the loan to value ratio. If you are a long-standing customer of the bank and have a good relationship, you can negotiate on the margin. Otherwise, the margin set is 25% to 35%. If in case the borrower fails to pay both the principal and the interest on the due date, then the interest keeps accumulating, which results in the erosion of margin, which increases the risk factor for the borrowers. The next one is gold accepted for pledge. Gold only in the form of ornaments is accepted as security. Gold bars and coins are not accepted as security. However, gold coins purchased from banks which are of 24 karat purity are accepted, but there is a restriction on the quantity. Gold coins only up to 50 grams can be accepted as security as per the guidelines of the Reserve Bank of India. The last one is purity of gold. Before approaching a lender, you should know the purity of the gold that you are going to pledge. Banks or financial institutions accept only gold with 18 to 22 karat purity. For gold coins, the purity level expected is 24 carats. It is better you pledge ornaments with no gems studded in them, since the weight of the gems will not be considered and you may end up getting a lower loan amount.
Be aware of all the above important factors before approaching the bank or financial institutions and strike the best deal. Well, this was it for today's video. Let us know what you think about the video and comment below if you have any doubts. We will try to reply to it as soon as we can. Stay tuned to our channel for more informative videos like these. Till then, goodbye and take care.